is the first ironclad ship built in Great Britain, and it's steam powered, not sail powered. And we're just going to walk alongside to give you an idea of the size of this. Over there is a tower, 385 feet I think. You can actually go up in a lift to the top, but we're concentrating on the shipping today as we're at the dockyards. Welcome to HMS Warrior, Her Majesty's ship Warrior, or His Majesty's ship as it was when it was commissioned. And this is just an amazing place. As I pan round, we're actually, the estuary is over there, and we have all the buildings on the right. As usual, I'm broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and my website, live from Portsmouth in England, as Angelica and I do our tour of Hampshire. Okay, so I'm trying to avoid people. And hello.
Are you going on board?
No, we're not.
No,
Okay. I think you're not allowed to photograph on board, hence his question, which is a fair one. Today we're just taking a walk around the dockyards as opposed to touring the facilities. It's wonderful because you can actually get onto the dockyards for free, which is what we've done today, and you can walk around and you can film, and nobody's going to stop you. So I'm going to go as far as here and then turn around and watch Angelica coming towards us, and we'll turn around and head back because we don't know what's going to come next. We've just done this part, so Angelica's going to follow me as I turn around. Hey, come here! Right, okay. So we've not been here before, so whatever we see next is a mystery to us as well as to you. But this is Portsmouth, which was the foremost naval dockyard. We've just learnt earlier this morning that the first ships to leave England for Australia in the 1700s left from Portsmouth, and we saw the site where they actually left from. That's the first 11 ships to actually go to Australia, and that coincides with the founding of Australia, and it's part of history. And I did photograph it this morning, but I didn't have the video on, so you'll see photographs of that later. And you can see over on the far side is the train station, which comes in from Portsmouth. You can catch a train from here straight into London. It's very accessible. Also from here, Angelica and I were just talking about, we've been on the ferry from here across to France, and you can go on the Sea Cat or the hovercraft from here across to the Isle of Wight. And this really is a seafaring town. You can smell the sea air. And we'll go up to that welcome sign and I'll give you an official welcome. Okay, I'm going to film film until I actually run out of battery power, possibly. But if you are watching live, thank you. I cannot see your comments at the moment because we are... Right, so welcome, how to navigate the dockyard. So, can you see the "You Are Here" sign? Possibly not, but we're going to take a walk around and see how far we get. And Angelica is just behind me, reading the signs. Okay, so I'm going to go straight up here. This area is still closed off until 1995. This was the official Royal Navy dockyard, and then in 1995 it moved up to Scotland, and perhaps Peter Stewart could give us a tour of the Scottish facility. And there's Boat Building and Heritage Skills Centre, teaching people how to build boats. I think I just got away with that. We had, as you saw there, armed police, and you're not supposed to photograph the police, so hopefully this video, well, it's going live so they can't really do anything about it, but we're not supposed to photograph our police, especially when they're armed. You don't want to upset them. Okay, now, since 1995 this has become essentially a tourist attraction, and there are 11 different attractions within the immediate Dockyard area, including the Mary Rose, which was Henry VIII's ship, which sunk and was rescued and has been restored, or is in the process of being restored to what it was. Now we're coming up to an area that I don't think I can go past. It looks very formidable, does that gate. Henry VIII, 500 years worth the walk. And I think what we have here is that you can't go past. It's certainly a very secure place. This is the first time Angelica and I have been, so all visitors this way. I think we should obey, given the armed police, that we should do as we're told. And I'll just film on the way out. Okay, so we've got the Mary Rose, HMS Victory, which was Nelson's ship, HMS M33, which I know anything about, National Museum of the Royal Navy, and the galleries. So we're headed, and we're going to try and find the Mary Rose. Now you've got to bear in mind that this morning Angelica and I were taken on a private walking tour by Steve of Portsmouth of the past, and we had a wonderful hour and a half walk around old Portsmouth and a guided tour, which was first class. We saw things that we wouldn't have even thought about going to see in old Portsmouth. Everything was explained to us, and we've discovered when we actually got back to the quayside that it's time he'd ever done it. And congratulations to him. We'll put a link to his page. He needs some support. He's just started these walking tours. We were the first ever people to do it, apart from his friends. We were both very impressed by it, weren't we?
Yes, we were.
Yes, we were. So that's Angelica. And wow. Now you're seeing this for the first time as I see, and Angelica sees this for the first time. That is quite a sight. Let's see if we can get closer. It's got guardrails all around it, but we're going to try and climb the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps up, and this is just incredible. Now you're not allowed to film on board the ships, but you can film the exterior, which is what I'm doing, as you know, at the moment. So just a reminder, we're at Portsmouth Naval Dockyards. We're conducting our own walking tour, and we're delighted that you could join us. That is just, you can go on board any of these, but for today we've just decided that we're going to return to Portsmouth and spend the full day here, because we've only got sort of half a day. There are 11 different attractions and we can't possibly do them all in one day, but this is just stunning. I'm sure Angelica's somewhere near. As we walk up, British flag proudly flying, as we walk to the stern. Okay. As I say, this is the first time that we've seen this, so Mary Rose Museum, HMS Victory, and refreshments. Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about what we're looking at. And it says here the conservation continues. In 2012, the National Museum of the Royal Navy and HMS Victory, so this is HMS Victory, which was Nelson's ship, embarked upon a £40 million 25-year programme of conservation to ensure the Victory is preserved for future generations. As a part of this process, visitors have a unique opportunity to see beneath Victory's skin. Shipwrights will use traditional skills, now we saw the school a moment ago, will use traditional skills to replace the planking to keep rainwater out and keep the historic structure dry and free from rot. So that's it. That is, can you imagine sailing on that ship? Can you imagine going up to the crow's nest up there, having to climb that, as Angelica said earlier, in stormy seas? And you can see the cannon all lined up to fire against enemy ships, a broadside in battle. And the Nelson fought a famous victory, defeating the Spanish and the French, with Nelson in command. Let's move on, see what else we can find. I've lost Angelica. Oh, I found Angelica. Okay. Angelica's moving out of the way. Hello. Should we go down here? Yeah? Okay. Because the Mary Rose should be down here, I would think. Not that I'm sure we can actually see her without going in, and once we're inside we can't film. So as I say, this is the free guided tour with Stephen and Angelica. We're in Portsmouth Dockyards. We're broadcasting out to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, thanks to Switchboard.live, which is the best content delivery network in the universe, and it only works. I've got my mobile camera, this is an Android phone, and I'm using a camera application, and that's all I have. And I just press record on my camera and we're broadcasting to the world. Looks like we're coming to a dead end. This is gate 7, just to confirm. And over there, I think, is a visiting aircraft carrier. Just hear the engines purring. Okay, so Angelica's decided this is not the place to be, but it is a great shot of the Victory. I've got a piece of software which takes a video film and turns it into images, and this is just going to be a stunning, wow, I'm blown away. Okay, obviously, as I say, the Royal Navy left this area in 1995 to establish their facility up in Scotland, and since then it's become part of Portsmouth's heritage, and thousands of people actually visit here every day and tour the 11 visitor attractions. Now, we've already seen HMS Warrior, which was the first metal-clad ship. We've seen HMS Victory, which was Nelson's flagship, which is being restored, and we're going to carry on a bit further down, probably for another 5 minutes or so, but it's just a magnificent place. According to our tour guide Steve this morning, there was nothing here until the 1700s, and this was all marshland. The land that we're stood on now was reclaimed from the sea, and the shipyards were built. Okay, now on the right hand side, let's go and see, is number 1 dock, and at the moment it's got the HMS M33's people, June 1915, 5 officers and 67 men squeezed in to the tiny hull. And let's find out what it is and the story behind it. Okay, I'm going to try and show you that. That's the schematic of the ship itself. I don't know the history. Next time we come here, I shall have revised some of the history, but you compare the size of that to the carrier over there. Yeah, okay, now this is a grey day in Portsmouth, as you can see, just panning around. but it's a slight breeze and it's a beautiful day to actually tour. Okay, I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to put the camera to one side so that you're actually still looking out at the boats. Where do you think the Murray Rose is?
In that building there.
In that building there. How do we get there? Up there and round?
Yeah, I think so. But
Okay.
we won't see anything because it's inside.
I know. I've told everybody that we won't be able to